So, Sandra, what do you do when you've worked hard, you've developed the skills, you're invested in training, and you realize the door you're trying to walk through might not actually exist?
We call Ghostbusters.
I mean, that is perfect. I think we should do that. Yes, agreed.
Well, I would build one.
Build a door. I love this. And wouldn't you bring like a whole bunch of women through it with you?
Totally. Absolutely. They're my best buddies. And you know what? That reminds me of this amazing episode we have in the vault with our friend Christy Harst. And that's exactly what she did. It's a conversation we originally recorded with Christy back in November of 2024. And if you don't know Christy, she's a professional voice actor who discovered something interesting when she tried to break further into the male dominated world of sports promo.
And I really love what she did because what she started out with was being frustrated that she couldn't get where she was trying to go. And so, like you talked about, she built a campaign. And as we listened to the conversation again, I don't know what you thought, but I realized that it was a much bigger story than just being a voiceover talent. It's about what happens when working harder isn't enough. It's about recognizing the systems around us. And Sandra, we've talked about systems and stories so much this year, using the influence we have and creating opportunities for other women along the way.
And we honestly think you're going to love Christy.
Yeah.
She describes herself in this conversation as a human sparkler. And you're going to understand why pretty quickly.
Yeah, she's very magnetic. And before we get into it, make sure to follow Exposing the Hidden Reality wherever you're listening and subscribe so you don't miss our next conversation.
Let's go back now to November of 2024 and introduce you to Christy Harst.
It's so exciting and good
Very
morning.
vivacious.
I don't know that I've ever heard that word associated with me, but I like it.
Oh my gosh, you should make people use that with you all the time. Like, oh, you can only talk to me if you call me the vivacious Christy or something like that.
Vivacious. Somebody called me a human sparkler the other day, and I was like, oh.
Oh, I love that. That is you.
Well,
I'm gonna get you a T-shirt that says sparkler.
oh no. Now, what happens if I'm in a mood that day and people are like, she's not a sparkler?
Then don't wear it that day.
Depending on my mood.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do this.
Okay, I have my coffee. I'm ready. Good morning, Annette. Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone. We are promising you an exciting morning today as we talk with Christy Harst. She is a voiceover actor and the voice that you hear at the Cleveland airport and the voice of so many brands. So, Christy, how about you start with like a better introduction than the one I did?
Oh, you just did a lovely job. That's great. I mean, I think it's wonderful. I've been a voice actor for 20 years now. I work out of my home-based studio right here. I'm located in Fairview Park, Ohio. My BFF is traveling for work, and she's texted me 4 times today. She says,
Is she okay?
I'm at the airport, and all I hear is your voice. And my husband travels for work, and he says the same thing. And I say, you can never escape me.
So how many airports am I listening to your voice when I'm there?
Oh, it's throughout the entire Cleveland Hopkins Airport. So I'm the voice of the entire airport. So if you hear any type of massage and it's a female, it's likely me.
I love that.
Yeah. So some are not so nice tone. Like I'm a little nasty. Yeah.
Like nice nasty or like nasty?
No, they asked me to be very stern, very authoritative on a couple of the massages. So you'll hear them. Anyways, so I have served as the national voice of John Deere. You've heard my voice on the World Series, Monday Night Football, and the NBA Finals as a national voice for a major streaming service. And not recently, but in the last 5 years, I've really been focused on trying to break into male-dominated sports promo. What is promo? For those people who are listening, who may not know, promo is what you hear when you're watching, let's say you're watching ESPN.
Okay.
And during a commercial break, it'll say, this Sunday, watch Rory McIlroy in the PGA, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Like, that's a promo. If you're watching NBC, Friday on Dateline, that whole bit, that's a promo. So I really enjoy it. I love it. I feel like it comes easy to me. I feel like I'm good at it. And so I invested a lot of money, time, and effort in training, workshops, demos, you name it, and really tried to do some out-of-the-box marketing techniques, and it wasn't getting me anywhere. And I became very frustrated. And I was in a workshop, an online workshop,
Yeah.
promo workshop with a prominent LA agent who happens to be a woman.
Okay.
And I just asked her point blank, what are my chances? Because I've been working on this. And she was honest and said, yeah, not so much. And she said, it's not for a lack of women in the industry trying to create opportunities for women in these lanes. It's that once these opportunities get to a certain point in the decision-making process, typically a middle-aged white man will say no. So that made me, after 5 years of time, effort, money,
Yeah.
dare I say, made me angry. And I know that's a touchy word for a woman to use, but it made me angry. And so I woke up the next day. I called a colleague of mine, who happens to be a middle-aged white man, explained what I was feeling, and that birthed the Building Doors campaign. The reason I call it Building Doors is because what I realized in that conversation with that agent was that if there is no door for me to go knock on, go kick in, what do I do? Because clearly there isn't. There is no door for me to knock on, kick in, nothing. So I have to build one, and I might as well bring a bunch of women along with me. I partner with women around the world to revoice scripts that were originally voiced by men in male-centric brands. So not only sports, but think whiskey, construction, farming, tech, gaming. We recently had a non-binary woman voice. I'm sorry, not woman, because she's non-binary. Oh, I'll get it right.
A non-binary person.
Thank you. We had a non-binary person who, by the way, they killed it. They killed it. Yeah. Voiced the iconic Dos Equis, the most interesting man in the world spot.
Oh, very
It was awesome.
Oh my gosh. You saw it, Sandra?
Oh, I did. It was fantastic.
Her name is Cherie Bite, and it's Cherie, middle initial Bite, and I just love saying her name, Cherie Bite, Cherie Bite, Cherie Bite. And they killed it. I mean, their voice is so luxurious and powerful. And anyways, buildingdoorsvo.com is the website. And I partner with these women, and they're featured on the website, explains everything that we do. But I initially only wanted to do it for Women's History Month. So I launched in March of 2024 this year, and I was only going to do it for a month. I think there was 13 women that I partnered with from around the world.
Okay.
We did it, and it gained so much traction. And I realized that a month isn't going to really move the needle for equity for women in the industry. So I decided to do 4 women a month, and I feature 4 women every Wednesday of the month. And then it started to grow a little too much. And I was like, I can't do this by myself anymore. And that's where I'm at right now. The success of the campaign has afforded me the opportunity to have face-to-face conversations with nearly a dozen brands. I can't mention all of them right now because I'm still in the process of figuring out with them how to announce publicly our relationship.
Yeah.
But I will say that I have had face-to-face conversations with the chief marketing officer of Valvoline, the folks at the Cleveland Guardians, Sportsnet, which is the #1 sports media network out of Canada. I've also had a face-to-face conversation with, in one Zoom call, 9 executives across 3 different organizations, the Cavs, the Charge, and the Monsters.
Oh my God, Christy, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And what I think is happening is through the success of the campaign, I'm able to open the door to these people, right? To these brands and plant the seed about equity. And I'd love to share with you the most common responses I get when I have conversations. And they're this. Christy, is this really a problem? Because I hear women on the radio all the time. Christy, I see Erin Andrews reporting from the football field every Sunday. Christy, didn't they just hire a woman to do play-by-play for an MLB team? And then, Christy, I never realized this. You're
Mhm.
right. Now that you pointed it out, and I'm thinking about all the times I watch TV or streaming, you're right. I don't hear a woman.
Mhm.
So the pushback I'm getting is that it's already exists. There's plenty of equity. There's plenty of equality for women. They just hired a woman for play-by-play in baseball.
Yeah.
Well, let's name all the women that do play-by-play in baseball.
Right. Right.
Right.
And how many men did they hire in all of those positions? Because yeah, okay, I watch football, and I think that was the most powerful part for me, not just hearing the voice over the campaign, but the write-up that you do about the demographics and where the viewership for that sport is. And maybe you could talk a little bit about that too.
So I was very clear in my mind what I wanted to do with Building Doors, right? It was very, very clear. Look at these women doing this. A brand is not going to miss out in any way, shape, or form by having a woman do the same thing.
Yeah.
Here's why. Data, data, data.
Yeah.
Facts, facts, facts. So did you know that the majority, like over 50% of fans of the MLB, NFL, and NHL are women, statistically?
Yeah.
I think that as women, we all know this, but not enough people know this, that around the world, between 70 and 80%, women have that much buying power. They are the ones that decide what sports camps their kids go to, what swag they buy, if they get season tickets or not. They are the decision makers when it comes to even on the farm. They're the ones who decide when they get new farm equipment. They're the ones that decide where to get their seed from. So statistically speaking, there is nothing from keeping brands from using more women. You know, there's a frustration right now, at least in the sports world. There are major brands, major teams and stuff that have like wine night and pink hats at the stadium. And women want more than that because women appreciate the game. Women are fans of the game. They can analyze the game just as good as anybody, and they want more than a pink hat and a wine night. And
it's a little condescending.
correct. And that's the point. And, you know, I can see how someone listening to our conversation right now may say, sounds to me like you're male bashing. Sounds to me like you're brand bashing.
No.
And what I want to say to that is 25% of our followers on Instagram, which we just created, Instagram and LinkedIn pages, because they used to be on just mine, right? Because when I started this, I wasn't going to create our own page. But now that it's gained steam, at Building Doors VO on LinkedIn and on Instagram is where we're starting to like try and move all of the people who've been following me over there. And 25% of our followers on Instagram are men. If I was male bashing, I don't think there'd be that many people following us and growing. I mentioned that I had that Zoom call with 9 executives across 3 or 4 organizations.
Yeah.
They reached out to me.
I love that.
White man, a C-suite white man reached out to me on LinkedIn, said, I've been following your campaign. I want to put you in front of decision makers across all these teams so that you can be top of mind, you and your ladies.
I love it.
If I was male bashing and brand bashing, these brands wouldn't have face-to-faces with me. They would want to not touch me with a 10-foot pole. But look at the movement that I've been able to create. Look at the seeds I've been able to plant for equity for women in my industry. And the majority of these meetings are with men.
Love that. I think you're bringing an awareness to a problem that people haven't thought about. And that is not so easy all the time, right? Because And so I don't watch as much sports as maybe
Yeah.
other women do. I'm definitely not in the 50%. I'm maybe like in the 35%. I'll watch my teams when they're doing well. I'm sort of a fair weather sports fan. Sorry. But I do notice the women on the field. I notice when a woman's calling the game or not calling the game. And I bring it up all the time. And my husband always says, "You're right. I don't know why there's not somebody calling the game that sounds like you or sounds like a female voice." So I think it's important. And I think they're reaching out to you, Christy, because they want to include the people that spend the money. And I know you're saying women make 50% of the sports related decisions, but overall in America, women make 80 to 85% of household buying decisions.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
70 and 80 worldwide.
Yes, it's so big. So yes, you're right. They're deciding a bunch of different things. And if we're included and we see ourselves reflected in the game, in the broadcast, we're more likely. And I don't know how you feel about Taylor Swift, but these past couple years, she's really brought attention to that too, especially for
Yeah,
football.
the Taylor Swift effect is real.
Yeah.
The Taylor Swift effect is very real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the things, so I'm in Florida right now attending a retreat. And one of the things we've been talking about is exactly this. What systems, not just, how do we hold ourselves back, how, in the way that we approach things, but what systems hold women back,
Yes.
right? And calling them out, because unless we see them, we can't fix them, right? Until we realize we have a problem, we can't work on a problem. And I think it's such a great thing that you're pointing out, Christy, that just because something has always been done a particular way doesn't mean that it isn't time to relook at how we're doing that and to find different, more inclusive, better ways to incorporate people who are actually already involved in that process anyway.
You bring up an interesting point. This campaign has been running for 10 months, and I have about, I don't know, sometimes 4, sometimes 2 face-to-face Zoom calls a week. And what I do is I try to just I have a Zoom meeting with this person and I say, "Do you know anybody that you can do a warm intro to?" Right. So then it just goes. So it took me, maybe 5 Zoom calls to get to this brand, maybe 7 Zoom calls to get to this brand. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
But what I am seeing in the result of these calls is that some people literally just don't know. They just don't realize. And then there are other people who are like, "I'm not doing this. And if I do it, it's only going to be to check off a box. And I'm only going to do it once everyone around me does it. So I'm not talking to you," which is fine, right? But for example, when I talked face to face to Valvoline, I spoke with their chief marketing officer, who is a woman. Their CFO is a woman. Their CEO is a woman. And she said to me, "Until your campaign, we didn't realize that voiceover was an opportunity for diversity."
Mm.
And she said, "Because of your campaign, we are now going to require our ad agency to bring us an equal amount of male voiceovers and female voiceovers when we're deciding on a campaign." She said, "It's always just been status quo. We've always just used a male voice. We never thought about it. It never dawned on us to use a female voice, not because we don't want to. Clearly, all their C-suites are women. They were concerned about forward facing, making sure there were female techs at the actual locations, making sure those female techs were featured in commercials, making sure they were featured in reels on social media. But it never clicked to use a female voice actor. So there are people and brands, honestly, that it just doesn't dawn on them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but I used to work for a large retail firm. Oh my gosh, a while ago now. And I was in charge of who was recording my customer service messaging that would go out on the VRU, and also that was used when they used it in the store locations.
Yeah.
I got to select my voice, and I was so excited about it because they presented a few different options. And this is a while ago now, Chrissy. Oh my gosh, it's nearly 15 years ago. But they presented all the options to me. And then I was doing my research like, this is the demographic of our client, our customers. What would she respond to? Because she was a female. So I did all kinds of research and learned more about her. And I ended up selecting a female voice. And I was so excited to be able to do that.
Right?
Not realizing the impact that I'm realizing now. So very
Yeah,
cool.
it's a huge impact. And, you know, like I said, what I'm seeing is that when it gets to us, it's not for lack of women not trying to create these opportunities. It's that when these opportunities get passed up and up and up, typically from what I've been told, a middle-aged white guy who's like, no, we want a man. In fact, since I started this campaign, I cannot begin to tell you the emails and messages I get from women in my industry. Stories of inequality like you would never know. More than 3 have emailed me and said, hey, I went through a lengthy audition process for XYZ male-centric brand. I got the job. I was so excited. I went and we did the recording. We got everything done. And a week before it was supposed to air, they pulled me and replaced me with a man. I have at least 3 or 4 emails like that. Major brain. So listen, inequality exists across. It's not something that is unique to women. It is in race, in class, in gender. And so why I think that this campaign is gaining speed and growing is because of that. People are empathetic to inequality because almost everyone experiences it in some way, shape, or form throughout their life.
Yes.
Now more than ever, it's crucial that we find community, we find missions that align with who we are. We join that community and we stay loud and we stay vocal. Because becoming silent and, you know, going into a hole isn't going to help anyone.
Right.
It's going to be a bumpy road, I know, for my campaign, but I'm willing to keep it up. I've worked this hard so far. The last 10 months, I'm not going to give it up now. I'm making progress. And the people who are meant to be in our circle we'll find each other. We'll find each other and make some noise.
Yes. And I think there's another important aspect of what you're doing, and that is that oftentimes decisions are made on the basis of money, right?
Yes.
So if we do this, it will transform or convert into XYZ amount of cash. And by doing this, right, we can demonstrate that shift, right? That buy-in. And then that puts more women into positions where they have the opportunity to influence, right? So yes, these decisions are being made because of financial reasons, but it puts people who are aware of these limiting systems into places where they can have impact and broaden the scope.
And to be clear, I'm not asking to take away jobs from men.
No.
I'm asking for equal opportunity.
Correct.
For the job. So if you're going to audition 2 men, 3 men, audition 2 or 3 women.
Yes.
You know, I'm just asking for the opportunity.
Correct.
Equal opportunity. That's all I'm asking for. Because in many cases, it might be, yep, the man is the right fit for this message. Right. And that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
But you know what happens when you sit in a room and you listen to how a woman's voice might add? Either you may say, oh, we weren't expecting this. That's probably good based on what you just said, our consumer base, this mission, what we're trying to do. Or what could happen is someone in that room is going to remember a voice that they liked. And then 6 months down the road, when there's another opportunity for another video or another voiceover or something, they're going to be like, oh, who was that woman that we listened to in the conference room? Let's reach out to her. It's a domino effect, right? It's just providing space. It's providing space for women's voices to be heard, and then equality and opportunity.
I love this because it's really easy, I think, as an independent business owner to say, I'm not going to collaborate with other people who do the same thing as me because we're in competition with each other. And what you're demonstrating is the power that can come from collaboration when we join together in a common cause, that there is abundance, not scarcity. We're not all fighting for the same pie. We can create a larger pie if we agree to band together rather than to compete against one another.
I love that you said that, because that's exactly the point. There's plenty of voiceover jobs, right? There's plenty.
Yes.
And there is absolutely nothing wrong with me bringing some women along with me and showcasing their voices. I mean, if you were to look at my LinkedIn, look at my Instagram, look at my Facebook, there's not much about me, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. You know, I want to talk just really quick about the power that you just kind of touched upon. One of our biggest success stories is a woman named Ashley Tirado. Ashley is a woman that I partnered with the very first month of the campaign, and she redid a Honda Sport spot.
Okay.
It was originally voiced by a man, and she did an amazing job. She even has like a little higher tone, right? It isn't just, voice of God kind of stuff. And part of what you do as a member of my campaign is you agree to like, tag, and share. So you like the post, you tag the brand, and then you share it to your network. So this is in the first month, mind you. First month, we had like 13 or 14 women, and all these women agreed to do that for one another. What happens when these women push share is that it puts that woman's voice out into a whole other sphere of eyes and ears. And at this point, when you look at the collective networks of all the women who are door builders, we're talking millions, plural, of eyes. And so what happened with Ashley in the first month is that we all shared her post. It went out into the world, if you will.
Yeah.
Someone, and she doesn't know who, someone saw it, forwarded it to an ad agency in Florida, who then reached out to Ashley and hired her to do a slew of Honda spots.
Awesome.
That is the collective power that women have. That is the collective power that we all can have and uplift one another in any cause. Because when you put someone in front of millions of eyes, you don't know who's watching. You have no clue who's watching you. I can't begin to tell you how many people on LinkedIn have reached out to me talking about how they love the campaign, but we're not even connected.
Right.
We're not even connected. People see you.
Correct.
People see you. Don't think that just because you're not getting likes and all this other, people see you. And they may be huge fans. They may be supporters. You never know.
That's what I keep telling myself, Christy, about this conversation is that, I have millions of fans.
That's right. And honestly, LinkedIn, I think, is kind of like that, more so than the other networks. Like LinkedIn, I feel like I remember I went to an in-person networking event, and I couldn't believe how many people came up to me and said that they had been following it, and I'm not even connected with them. I don't even know them.
Yes.
But they follow it, right? Just because someone isn't commenting or liking. And so when you keep that in mind and you stay consistent with your messaging, you stay consistent with showing up, things like building doors can happen.
I love it. And I love you. Well, seriously, you are so much fun. I consider myself so lucky to have found my way into your little orb. And it's true.
It's a crazy orb, Sandra.
I love it. I love it.
I would like to point out, though, Sandra, that this is my little corner, right? Voiceover is my little corner of the world. It's not, we're a small community. We're a strong community. Voice actors are some of the most generous and giving people I've ever met. And this is my small part of the world. And so if I can get angry about something enough to start a campaign to change, anybody can. Yeah. It's really not about changing the world. It's about changing the little corner of your world.
Right.
The little corner of your world that you live in. right?
Stay in your sphere of influence.
Mhm. Absolutely true. So what if somebody wants to join your movement, Christy? What can we do to get them connected to you?
So the first thing you should do is follow us on our LinkedIn and Instagram pages, and those handles are at Building Doors VO. If you decide to follow and go there, I highly request that you like, share, and tag, because as I previously described, it takes our voices out to the millions. So the more people that like, share, and tag, the more attention we can get, and the more I can get into those conversations with brands. I'm proud to say that this past year, I was hired by Generac, the generator people, to be an influencer. Look at me in my 40s being an influencer. Anyways, I'm a fan of Generac. The tornadoes that happened here in Ohio,
Yes.
Generac was, and I posted about it. They reached out, and I've created a handful of videos for them. And so I am proud that I have that skill set now, that I've been able to develop that skill set. So I can use that now for building doors if I partner with another brand. So if you're looking to support us, please do so by liking, sharing, tagging, following us on those pages at Building Doors VO. You can check out our website. There's a place to take a pledge if you're a company, and that's buildingdoorsvo.com. And then if you want to even get real deep into it, reach out to me and let's talk about partnership opportunities.
There's a lot of ways to get involved.
Oh my gosh, Christy, this is huge, huge. And you are shifting, you are shifting massive energy.
Well, you know how I'm going to know when this campaign has really made a dent is when I hear a woman voice a Super Bowl promo.
Yes.
In the weeks leading up to the Super Bowl, you hear stuff like watch a Super Bowl, February, whatever, if one of those ads, just one of them is a woman, and hopefully it would be a direct result of this campaign. Yeah, that's when I know we've started to change.
So you're like saying, "Hey, Super Bowl, call me."
I mean, that would be great. But again, all these Zoom calls that I have are going to lead there. I know it. I'm going to find somebody who's going to know somebody who's going to know somebody who's going to know somebody. It'll happen.
It will.
Yep. Thank you very much for having me on and giving me the opportunity to evangelize our mission. I really appreciate it.
I think I can speak for Annette. It's an honor to have you here.
Agreed.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really?
I can't find my proper voice today.
She's just so impressed. She can't even talk.
am.
You've
I
got her
know.
quieted, Christy. Like, write that down. That's the accomplishment.
Are you verklempt?
Yes, I'm verklempt.
Yeah.
And Christy, when you are like mega famous and you are speaking to these great audiences and you're meeting all these amazing celebrities, are you going to just send me selfies, or can I come and ogle and like drool as well?
My aim is not to be famous. My aim is to make change and to be well respected in my community. So if other voice actors can, have respect for me as their peer, and if I can make change, then that to me means I'm famous. Famous in my little world, right? And fame is not the goal, right? Change is the goal. But if other things happen along the way, of course I welcome it.
Fame is not the goal. Change is the goal. Listening to her say that again, almost 2 years later, still gives me the chills.
Yeah, I love this conversation because it wasn't just about changing the entire voiceover industry, which we can fall into so quickly. If I can't do it big, I'm not going to do it. And she just looked at the corner of the world that she could influence and simply asked, what can I do here?
And I keep coming back to the fact that she didn't build the door only for herself. She brought other women with her. She shared their voices. They shared one another's work. And that collective visibility started creating real opportunities.
And isn't that what not just exposing the hidden reality is about, but collaboration, cooperation, right? Helping, lifting others, so because the tide raises all boats.
Yeah.
So that leaves us with a question for you, our dear listener. Where is there a door in your own life, in your workplace, your industry, or your community that's been waiting for somebody else to open?
And what might be possible if instead of waiting for that door to open, you built your own?
Because you don't have to change the entire world to make an impact.
Maybe you just start with your little corner of it.
So true. So, if conversations like this one today made you think differently about work, leadership, identity, and growth, we'd love to have you join Exposing the Hidden Reality and our community.
Yeah, join our newsletter at exposingthehiddenreality.com. We'll keep you connected to new episodes, conversations, and resources to help you take what we're talking about here and bring it into your own life and your own career.
Until next time.
Keep building doors.